Welcome to my next Better Call Saul Season 3 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important if you aren't caught up to the point where I am every rewatcher and watching Better Call Saul, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And for all of you out there that are already wondering, I've already seen Better Call Saul all the way through one time. In fact, I actually did episode review videos on this channel for Season 6 of Better Call Saul. So if you've seen every episode and you want to check some of my Season 6 stuff out, you can click right here with about 20 seconds left to go in the video. That's going to be the end screen and the link to my Better Call Saul Season 6 videos. And of course, I'll put my Breaking Bad content right here. All the episode reviews, all my characters ranked, all my seasons ranked, and my episodes ranked. So if you want to see that stuff, make sure you go stay to the end screen and click on that playlist. So with all that said, this will be Better Call Saul Season 3, Episode 2. The title of this episode is called Witness, and this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. Chuck prepares a cup of tea and checks the locks on all the doors at his house. He is accompanied by a private investigator, David Brightbill, who is playing solitaire. Now, after turning down the lantern light, Chuck looks outside. Mike watches as two henchmen he followed from his house give the tracker to a courier. Mike follows the courier for the rest of the night as he collects small packages from remote dead drops around Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mike sees the courier pull into a restaurant and walk inside carrying a knapsack. After he leaves, the readout for the tracker shows that it is stationary, suggesting it is inside the restaurant. When Mike drives away, the camera zooms out to reveal that the restaurant in question is Los Porros Hermanos. We know what that's from, Season 3 and Season 4 of Breaking Bad. Jimmy continues renovating Wexler McGill's office when a woman named Francesca Liddy arrives for a job interview. During her sit-down with Jimmy and Kim, Francesca goes over her experience as a clerk at the New Mexico Motor Vehicle Division. Jimmy asks Francesca unusual questions and is eager to have her immediately start working as the new receptionist. Kim insists on going through a more thorough hiring process, but Jimmy tells her that he has a commercial airing in a few minutes and he needs Francesca to handle the incoming calls. Jimmy coaches Francesca as two calls come in, one of which turns out to be from Mike. Jimmy agrees to meet with Mike the next morning. Mike tasks Jimmy with entering Los Porros Hermanos to observe the courier when he comes inside. After taking an order, Jimmy watches as the courier arrives, collects his own meal, and sits at a booth with the knapsack between his feet. Jimmy tries and fails to act casual while watching the courier. When the courier dispenses with his trash and leaves with the knapsack, Jimmy reaches into the trash bin to see if the courier stashed anything in there. He is suddenly greeted by Gustavo Fring. Gus is now on Better Call Saul, who asks Jimmy if he needs any help. Jimmy quickly sips off his watch and says he lost it in the trash. Gus helps Jimmy retrieve his watch and Jimmy leaves. He tells Mike that he saw nothing suspicious in the restaurant, much to Mike's frustration. Gus is outside cleaning litter and looks up knowingly as Jimmy drives away, aware that Mike is on to him. Mike continues his stakeout of Los Porros Hermanos and notices a black Cadillac Escalade pull up to the back of the building. When the car, revealed to be driven by Victor from Season 3 and Season 4 of Breaking Bad, drives off, the readout indicates the tracker is inside, and Mike follows the Escalade. A paranoid Ernesto drives to Wexler McGill and phones Kim to meet him in his car outside. After learning what he knows, Kim takes Jimmy into a private room and makes him give her a $20 bill to officially make her his lawyer. Now protected by the attorney-client privilege, she tells Jimmy that she knows about his confession to doctoring the Mesa Verde files. Jimmy defends his actions and then assures Kim that it's his word against Chuck's. Kim reveals that Chuck taped the confession, which stuns Jimmy. Kim conducts research and, based on what she has learned, figures that Chuck cannot use the confession tape in court and will not use it to win back Mesa Verde, and reveals she has strategies ready to get the tape excluded outright in court, almost exactly as Howard predicted. Kim suggests that Jimmy not act and wait for Chuck to make the first move. Instead, Jimmy angrily leaves. Mike continues to follow the tractor signal put out by the Escalade, but the pursuit leads him to find a ringing cell phone placed atop a fuel cap at the center of a remote highway. Mike picks up the phone and answers the call. Howard uncharacteristically sneaks over several walls to be let in through the back door at Chuck's house. Howard mentions that the cost of having private investigators guard the house for several full days is starting to add up. Chuck compromises to only have the investigators around at night, as he predicts that Jimmy will break into Chuck's house at night to steal the tape. To everyone's shock, an enraged Jimmy shows up at Chuck's house at the very moment. In broad daylight, Jimmy kicks down Chuck's door and screams at him for pulling that heartstrings con job on him. "No wonder why Rebecca left you," he says. "What took her so long?" he yells before prying open the desk drawer and tearing apart the tape in Chuck's face. He threatens to burn the whole goddamn house to the ground to find any possible copies. However, Jimmy has directly played into Chuck's hands. Howard and Dave make their presence known and declare themselves witnesses to Jimmy's crimes. And that's what ends this episode of Better Call Saul. So, fun episode all around. I'm going to give it a 9.0 out of 10. I mean, we had three characters that had different points where they were awesome in the episode. Chuck, Mike, and Kim. Yeah, I mean, they're all good. Jimmy, of course, is the character of every episode. And then how about this? We get three Breaking Bad characters in this episode. Victor, Francesca, and Gus Fring make their Better Call Saul debut. So this is a very memorable episode and a really good one at that. So 9.0 out of 10, and you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Better Call Saul and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please don't forget to Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Better Call Saul. What would you rate the episode, and whom, if you had to choose, would be your characters of the episode? I went with 3. It's probably too many. Don't forget to click right here for my Better Call Saul Season 6 reviews, assuming you've seen every single episode. My Breaking Bad content right there. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.